Welcome back. We start a new segment tonight on Capitol Tonight. Lawmakers are back in session. That means a lot of fresh faces. In fact, nearly 60 of them this year alone. This week, House Democratic freshman leader Duane Hall joins me. He's an attorney from Raleigh. Representative Hall, great to see you, sir. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for the invitation. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. So let's just tell us a little bit about yourself. Why did you decide to run for office?
This particular year, it was a lot of the social agenda that came up last year. The state's in a tough position fiscally, and the Republicans last time they ran on jobs, 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 so that's not what we saw. We saw the Amendment 1, we saw the Racial Justice Act, voter ID. That was a big issue for me last year.
So, and you're in a new district essentially, right? I mean, the map's changed quite a bit. This is a new district technically.
It is technically. The district number is 11. However, the easiest way to explain it is essentially Jennifer Weiss's old seat. She is now in Tom Murray's district, and this is a district that I've lived in most of my adult life.
So you're the freshman leader. What does that entail?
It is not really a power position. It's not really an ideological position. It's more organizational. It's my job to help not train the new people myself, but to gather other experienced legislators to help us as a group 13 to kind of feel our way through and learn what to do. We're more than a quarter of the caucus this year.
So obviously things are different from just even a few short years ago when Democrats were in control. Republicans are now. So what's it been like compared to what you thought it was going to be?
Well, it's only been a few days, but it's actually been better than I expected. The other side has treated me extremely well. They've said they're going to reach a hand across the aisle and let us participate, and so far that's been the case.
So what do you hope to, I guess, what do you hope to focus on this session yourself?
Well, it hasn't come up yet. Education funding is something I hope to increase. There were a lot of cuts last year. The most immediate thing that's going to come up this week, obviously, is the unemployment insurance. So that's something we're focusing on right now.
You know, when you're in the minority party, there's often two ways to go. You can either, just get on that steeple and talk and push forward the Democratic ideas, or try to get some, of your ideas into some of the bills. How do you see that working out, do you think?
Well, we've made some efforts already, obviously, some amendments in committee that did not pass. I intend to offer an amendment on the floor Monday on the unemployment insurance that hopefully will be considered.
So tax reform is one of the other huge issues. Obviously, it's going to probably weave throughout the session. What is your hope and focus as that debate gets underway?
My hope is that it will be somewhat reasonable, not as drastic as some of the things we've heard. The proposals that are out now obviously take away almost half of our budget, with really no way to replace that without an enormous increase in the sales tax. The most regressive part of that would be a possible quadrupling of the grocery store tax or the food tax.
So do you hope that, are you a supporter of broadening the base? There's been, I don't know how long you followed the General Assembly, but it seems like forever they've been trying to do tax reform. Do you support some changes overall?
I do support some changes, but not as drastic as they've said. The corporate tax I would be willing to possibly go along with if we eliminated some of the loopholes that are there right now.
So specifically with education, do you want to see funding go back, changes to the way it's fundamentally worked with? What would be your focus there with education?
Well, it is mostly the funding. There were 6,000 teachers' jobs cut. They found the money to bring back 2,000 more, but that's still a 4,000 deficit. A lot of the talk last year was, well, we didn't cut as many teachers, we cut teaching assistants. But if the assistants go, that work doesn't go away, that just means the teachers do it. So there were some pretty big cuts last year.
What is the biggest concern, do you think, for the area that you represent? You represent West, kind of Wake County and some of the Cary areas. What's the biggest focus with that?
Well, it's a very working class district, so this unemployment insurance will make a big difference. The tax burden would more proportionally affect my district. West Raleigh, a lot of the NC State area, there are a lot of students in my area, there are a lot of government employees in my area, so state employee issues are big there.
Okay, Representative Hall. Well, welcome to the legislature, and thank you for stopping by. We'll see you in the future.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, sir.